Good afternoon. This is Shelby with Silky Botanicals at the Mugwort Manor in Seattle. I just saw a bee go in here. Yep, there it goes. Just wanted to show a little bit about how to keep pests, bug pests, at limited quantities, in your garden using natural gardening methods. We got Jasmine here. Alright, so if we go over here, if you look up in our pear apple tree, you'll see, here's the pear apples. They're pretty small, maybe like a little bit bigger than my thumb. When they're at this size, it's a great time to put these little mesh socks on. They can be called maggot barriers or even like little nylons for feet work just fine. And they're stretchy, and then when the moths come and lay their eggs, they don't get into the apples or pear apples or pears and whatnot, and the fruit will grow and this will stretch. So that's one way to keep pests at bay, using no pesticides. We have our lovely little mint garden right here. This big leaf right here, this is called Ella Campaign, and maybe this year, I'm pretty sure it'll happen next year, because it's every other year it'll bloom and it gets to be like 15 feet tall. It's also known as elf dock. Here's the daisies that are about to bloom. But another way, so aphids have been here and they have been attacking my honeysuckle. You can see here. And so I was spraying them with soapy water, and that was keeping them at bay for the most part. So just a mix, about 1-to-10 ratio, 1 being soap, natural soap, and 10 being water, and you just mist it. I like to do it in the evenings or mornings before or after the heat of the day, because then you won't like burn the plants with the sun and the soap and the water and everything. So that was helping. And another way you could do it is with neem oil and water, and you mix it. And we got fennel here. This is all evening primrose, beautiful flowering plant. This is the garden right now. It's pretty calm, because this is right before everything really grows, and then it's almost overwhelming and need to tend to it more. But this is right before it gets crazy overwhelming. Okay, so the other way, you got soapy water spray, you have neem water spray, and then the third way Well, and then for fruit you have the mesh socks. And so the fourth way to keep pests at bay, particularly aphids, is ladybugs. So the aphids were really kind of attacking our hawthorn tree here, and I finally got some ladybugs from the garden store, and I sprayed the garden with water because I know the ladybugs would be nice and thirsty when they got out of their little packets. And you can see all of the aphids here. I don't know if that's working. They're just, and so I put ladybugs on the aphids, and they seem to be enjoying their new home. And they're just kind of all over. But yeah, you spray the garden down with water so that ladybugs can have a good first drink, and then they stay hydrated through eating the aphids. Some more. And the hope is the ladybugs will lay their eggs, and then there will be, in about 3 weeks, there will be more baby ladybugs. These here are just volunteer plants, these peas and these potatoes. They're just volunteers, they just popped up, which I love. The garlic is coming on well. See these scapes here? These are the garlic scapes, and it's a flower of the garlic, and I'm going to be snipping them about here before they go to flower, because garlic is a root vegetable and we want the energy of the plant to go into the bulb rather than the flower. So you snip all these scapes off. Here's more. Here's another one. And then we can use these. Here's some more. Wow, they're all going to flower. We can use these as stir fry, or like a garlicky pesto sauce. Yeah, so I'm gonna be harvesting these today and then cooking with them, and then our garlic bulbs will get nice and big. Transplanted this peony, and this calendula, and they transplanted pretty well. Oh, here's the beautiful peony. It smells so good. Our gooseberries are coming along. Here, I don't know what happened, but this branch got broken somehow, so I just kind of tied it up, and it's doing okay. But we got berries, which is really exciting. I'm gonna eat one. It's good. Yum. These are peas. They're coming along nicely. There's a lot of currants here in the Seattle area. This is a currant plant, and you rarely see any berries on them, which is interesting, because besides the beautiful flowers and the nectar it provides for all the bees and critters, the berries are fantastic. Very high in antioxidants. But, so every black currant bush I've seen don't have berries. But since we have planted so many early blooming plants, like bulbs and what else? Clovers, and a lot of our kale bloomed early. Even our calendula bloomed early. Many things. We have berries. So take a look. And they're not as abundant as I had like, but even seeing a few, I'm super stoked about. So there's a little berry. There's a couple berries. And so I think it's due to the really good pollinating that's been happening. We have berries. The cool thing about black currant or currant, you can snip off a cutting and stick it directly in the ground and it will grow. I am always very conservative about harvesting and cuttings, especially if it's a new plant, which I planted this last year during the beginning of the pandemic. Oh, Jasmine, no. Jasmine, leave it. Doggy's digging. Jasmine, go get your stick. Go get your stick. No. I don't love it when she puts holes in the ground, because I trip on those holes. I know she's a doggy, but I don't like tripping. Good girl, thank you. Where was I? We have a compost tumbler, and one of our side garden beds, we planted asparagus and tomatoes and potatoes, because asparagus, they like to be planted with nightshade family. They help with reduction of pests. And in that compost tumbler that we dumped into the bed, we got over 100 squash starts. We even got apple tree starts and maybe pear tree starts and cherry tree starts, because we take all of our compost from inside and put it in the tumbler, and then we get all these volunteer plants. Now, I'm not sure if these are zucchinis or pumpkins, but we're gonna find out. Here's our pole beans, and here's the tree starts. So we got 3. I think these are apples, because they have the little serrated leaves, the red stalk. We'll see. In the last video, I said, look at all these little kale starts, and they were just that big. And now look at them. They're huge. So we've been doing a lot of smoothies and juices with this kale. The onions kind of got covered up, but that's okay. I love me some kale. So that's fun. I did not plant any of this. Just volunteer. Oop, looks like I need to water this little start. I'm sorry, little dude. I'm gonna water you as soon as I'm done with this video. Here's the other one. It's doing quite well. So that's pretty good. 4 out of 5 are doing really well, and then I'll give this one water, and it might perk back up. Oh. Yeah, it's not bad. We actually had quite a few more of the apple tree starts, but I only saved 5 because it's a lot. Here's our pear tree. We have maybe half a dozen pears on it. Here's our mugwort wall. It's coming along well. Chives are coming on well. Look at this leek. Woohoo! That's tall. Hi, Jasmine. So yeah, to prevent some pests taking over, the best thing you can do is do not use pesticides, because that'll kill all the good pests that you want. And the good pests like ladybugs or lacewings, they will not be able to thrive and help you with the bad pests like aphids. So, hi, Jasmine. What a good girl. What a good girl. Yeah. So get rid of any pesticides. Use a spray bottle with soapy water or neem oil and water for your fruits. Use mesh sockies or maggot barriers, or find yourself some ladybugs and let them loose in your garden and let them do the work for you. If you want to learn more about the products that I sell and make, you can go to silkybotanicals.net. Have a beautiful day.